Hi, my name is Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, Hannah Needs to Yell, and today I have some more expressing to do about RawBeautyKristi. I have been particularly touched in a way by the comments that I received on my last video about RawBeautyKristi. By the time I post this video, it'll be a little over a week ago that I made that video and posted it. Especially the former fans of RawBeautyKristi who expressed in my comments the reasons that they are no longer watching RawBeautyKristi, the reasons that they are former fans, ex-fans. And there's so much to this story that I feel like I didn't quite get to in the last one. And I just want to share some perspectives that way so that, if giving Kristi all of the benefit of the doubt, she's really not sure why her channel is dying, because I'll be honest with her, it is more than what she talked about in her video, because of course it is, the things that she's not addressing. Basically, if Kristi really wants to save her channel and her YouTube career, if she's truly mind-effed, as she says, about her channel dying, she needs to take a long, hard look at what to fix, and her former audience are the perfect people to tell her if she'll listen. If she's genuinely curious about why her channel is dying, about why people are not watching and following her journey, I recommend that she watches this video, because we're going to talk about it straight from the horse's mouths. We're going to look at what people have had to say directly, ex-fans of RawBeautyKristi, about why they're not watching anymore. Because in my comment section, she can't delete the comments. She can't modify what's allowed to be shown. We're also going to look at some recent developments that have really surprised me, with some stuff that Kristi's been up to just in the past week or two. That's just like, are we trolling at this point? Like, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't want to assume the worst in people. Really, really, truly, I try my best to be an optimist. I know this is the place that I come to yell about things that I am upset about, but that's after a long time of giving people the benefit of the doubt and being optimistic by the time it gets to me posting a video about something, to be honest with you. At a certain point, though, there's some things that people do that make it clear that either they are excessively, blissfully ignorant of the conversation going on around them, or they are purposefully watching commentary about them and responding to it subliminally, passive-aggressively, one could say, or purposefully even, who knows, through their content and through, indirect means. So we're going to discuss several different things in this video. Buckle up. It's going to be a little bit of a scattered roller coaster, but it's going to be a good time. I was about to tell you to please like and subscribe to the channel and stuff, but you guys have already done that. On my last RawBeautyKristi video that I just posted a little over a week ago, you blew that video up for my channel. It's a blow up for my channel, to the extent that I finally surpassed the 15,000 subscriber milestone that I've been working toward for a while. So thank you guys so much for your support on that video. It means a lot. I've been working on this channel for a long time, and I appreciate you not only watching the video, but deciding to subscribe. So I appreciate it. I also really appreciate some creators who have shouted me out over the past week or so. I've definitely seen shout outs from Peter Monn, Mika's Rhetoric, Audra Rains. There may have been other people who I just haven't seen their content. I haven't found my way to it or whatever. But, I'm a smaller creator on this platform. It helps to be recognized a little bit. I feel like I've been kind of flying solo on my channel for a long time now. So it's nice to, like I said, be recognized. But then I was also thinking about what an interesting combination of creators, me, Mika, Audra, and Peter. Can we all just get together for even an off-camera little convo? I don't know. Or on camera, because what a time that would be. I don't know, because I don't know if they're going to watch this video. Who knows? But somebody who's good at making things like that happen, or maybe am I manifesting? I don't know. But we all should chat. Anyway, let's move into what this video is about. I made some notes for this video, unlike the last one. It's not a deep dive, but I do have some points that I just want to make sure that I hit, okay? So the first thing I want to start with is what really spurred me to make this video and that I was most impacted by following my last video, which is the comments from former RawBeautyKristi fans who have left her channel and the reasons why. And I feel like that's so important in this conversation because it's so thick, it's so dense, it's so layered. expected. Not only the video that Kristi put out about her dying channel, but also the responses to it. Every take on that video has been different in some way that just illuminates some other either life perspective from the audience or some other, trying not to be too harsh here, but some other ignorance or some other way that RawBeautyKristi either doesn't realize or does realize that she's negatively impacting her audience with this change or with the way that she talks about it and the content she puts out. So let's take a look at the comments on my last video. Let's see what the X fans are saying, because none of these reasons that they're sharing, none of these responses and reactions that I've been getting from people have been just throwaway comments of just like trolling, bitter, or anything like that. It's people are really thoughtful in their response to RawBeautyKristi and their experience with her. I would argue more thoughtful than Kristi is being and how she's going about this whole thing. I just think it's really worth looking at. So here we are. This is my video from last week. And let's take a look at the comments. I'm going to sort by top. Just ignore the pinned comment. Yes, I do have a bitter bone in my body. The top comment, short and sweet. I bailed when she went anti-vax, told me all I need to know. The anti-gay and trans followed as expected. 513 likes. This is an element that I didn't even really discuss in my last video, in which, it was brought up so much in the comments. I realized that I should have. So when Kristi was going through her pregnancy journey, as well as, the traumatic childbirth, the recovery from that, the way that motherhood changed her life, all of that. And even before she got pregnant and gave birth, she has been on this very long, very difficult fertility journey. That's why it was such a celebration when she did get pregnant, and why it was particularly grievous that the birth itself was so traumatic, and all of this postpartum depression and everything that she was going through rocked her world so much. And I get that. As I said, I am not unsympathetic to what Kristi was going through. It was just too much for me as a viewer to handle, so I had to step out. But along the way with that, I think that Kristi became concerned with something that a lot of young new mothers become concerned with, which is, giving my new baby the best life possible. And especially that means taking care of their health, making them as healthy as possible. And a lot of times that leads people down a path toward all natural, all organic, clean. And if you move much farther past focusing on organic materials and organic living, you can get into crunchy life, which can become a surprisingly fast bridge into alt-right ideology. People are calling this the crunchy to alt-right pipeline for a reason. And we see that reflected here in this top comment. I bailed when she went anti-vax, told me all I need to know. The anti-gay and trans followed as expected. So anti-vax, remember, Kristi said herself in her last video, she had a baby during the pandemic. That is a big, crunchy person perspective. People who were anti-vax for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons was, we don't know what all these chemicals are, and I'm all natural, all organic. My immune system will take care of me, regardless of all the reasons why that's scientifically unsound, whatever. Watching someone go anti-vax, it does tell you a lot about them, like this commenter said. And then the anti-gay and trans followed as expected. That's a reference to the pipeline. There's video essays about this. I'll try to find some and link some in the description of this video. I'm also going to link the channels of the creators who have shouted me out. I failed to do that last time with the videos by Peter Monn that inspired me to make my last video. I have since added those to the description of my last RawBeautyKristi video. I'm going to link a lot of stuff in the description of this video, so please check it out. But there are countless video essays about this pipeline. I am not gonna pretend that I have deep dived it, because I have not. If I had, I probably would have made a video about it, but that's why I haven't, is because I know it's just gonna anger me. I will link some resources for those who are curious. It does exist, it is a real thing, and that's where that's gonna be all of my commentary there. Obviously, it concerned people that Kristi was anti-vax during a pandemic when she had just given birth to a newborn, regardless of all of the isolation that was going on at that time and the social distancing and the restrictions and stuff. A new baby is a big celebration. That's really a time when, of all times in your life, when you're going to have people finding a way to come visit you, especially people who like to skirt around science anyway. I don't know, because like I said, I didn't keep up with that part of Kristi's journey the most. And so you tell me in the comments, please. I just hope to God, if she was not vaccinated, I hope she was taking every other possible measure to keep her brand new infant safe, because she wasn't doing the very obvious thing that would keep him safe, which is vaccinating herself and her husband in a pandemic. You know? Okay. And then the anti-gay and trans followed as expected further down the pipeline. We saw this on display this past summer with Kristi's son being shown in Facebook photos at a parade. This, 4 to 5 year old little boy who has no control over what clothes he puts on, probably wearing a t-shirt that is supportive of an anti-trans organization, a fear-mongering, protect our kids, save our kids from the evil trans monsters kind of organization. Why was he wearing that t-shirt if Kristi didn't put him in it, Kristi or Zach? Like, what an unfortunate way also to find out that a creator who you've loved for years and who has been an ally online or presented herself as an ally online for years might not actually be, It was certainly a shock to the system of a lot of her fans. It was certainly a shock to me. I knew that she was going down this crunchy path, but I didn't realize that she was going to go that far. Allegedly, because she hasn't come out and clarified what she really thinks. So all I can go off of, just like everybody else, is what evidence does exist. So based on the evidence that does exist, it certainly does seem that she's now anti-LGBTQIA+, and that is just such a severe disappointment. But anyway, that's just a lot of commentary about this one comment. And really, this is a moment for other people to speak more than me. So, other ex-fans. She still sounds so miserable. I was so happy for her when she got pregnant. It seems like she has been miserable ever since. That's something that somebody else noted in one of the comments. Like, they started feeling uncomfortable about Kristi's content when they realized that someday her child is going to grow up. They're going to look at her videos and look back at this time when they were first born and the way that it affected Kristi. And the commenter was saying, like, I was feeling uncomfortable thinking about him looking back at these videos and seeing how miserable his mother was and like how traumatized she was. I felt uncomfortable, like, contributing to that future inevitable moment that her son is going to have. That was poignant. The idea of Kristi being miserable since she got pregnant, which was something that she had wanted for so long, and being so public with that misery, which is a choice, and especially being miserable ever since, not just the traumatic birth itself and the recovery from that, but her son is 5 now. 5 years is a long time to watch somebody go through some really, really difficult mental health things and struggle and suffer online. Certainly there are some audience members who are into that, but a lot of us just aren't. I don't know what else to tell you. Next, thing I noticed about Kristi was her immense victim complex. Everything is happening to her. Everything is a problem. Everything is wrong all of the time. And after 4 years of that, it just gets draining. Yeah, I feel you. Kristi, I hope you're listening. As a new mom, it hurt to hear her almost putting down other moms. She said, like, other moms can continue to do what they've always done, but it fundamentally changed who I was as a person. We all fundamentally change, but we also have to do our work every day. Yeah, this was certainly RawBeautyKristi's privilege being on display in a way that, like I said, was ignorant. So not that she necessarily was meaning to put down other moms or like anything like that, but in her ignorance, in her privilege, saying things that displayed her privilege to be able to not only fundamentally change as a person, but also really like sit in that and not have to, as this commenter said, like, do our work every day. You have to kind of speed run the grief and recovery process when you have a 9-to-5 job you have to show up to and be presentable at around other people in person. When you're not creating your own content, whatever you wish, whatever comes to your mind to put on video. When you have other people who you are accountable to and who are holding you to standards and deadlines and tasks you need to complete. And in a way, having that outside force of structure and organization and even extrinsic motivation. We all want to be intrinsically motivated about everything we do, but there's times in life when we just can't, and we have to rely on those external forces to get us motivated and get us doing stuff we don't want to be doing. Not having that, I think, can really slow your recovery process because you don't have accountability and you don't have the same kind of reasons to get through something that you would have with that kind of structure and with that kind of risk and that kind of pressure. Honestly, I've been going through some shit over the past couple of years. If you've been present on my channel, you've noticed I've taken a couple of gaps because I needed them. Medical stuff, psychological stuff, relationship stuff, all sorts of stuff has been going on. And if I did not have a limited amount of medical leave that I was allowed to take, if I did not have only so much PTO, it would have been very easy for me to sink down into the depths of what I was going through and never come back out of it. I'm completely speculating and theorizing here. I don't know Kristi. I would love a chance to interview her, but I don't think that chance is coming anytime soon. But basically, I can see what I described being a very real possibility of how this all went for her, because she is a very anxious, kind of overthinking kind of person already. And then she had so much, not her fault, but trauma and depression and things that only amplify and intensify that. Like, I want ideally to live in a world where people can take all the time that they need to rest and recover and really heal from things like that rock your world, that shake your foundation, that change your life immensely, physically, mentally, emotionally, routine-wise, because now she's got a baby to take care of, But there are also times when I am grateful for the structure of, especially as a person with ADHD who struggles to give myself structure, which is why I would never be able to do YouTube only full-time as my full-time job. I would sink into an anxiety ball and never actually put out any content. But anyway, that's beside the story. There's a benefit to structure. There's a benefit to having outside forces that you are accountable to and that motivate you, even if it's kind of negative motivation of like, I don't want to do this, but I need to pay my bills. And it forces you to, whether you like it or not, get up, get dressed, brush your teeth, go to work, do your job. And you learn through doing that, or I'll just say, I learned through doing that I was able to, when I didn't think that I was. I had to. And surprise, surprise, little did I know, I could. I thought I couldn't, but I could. Obviously, this commenter is much more concise than I am in expressing basically the same thing. But, these are comments that are resonating with me, resonating with 471 people who liked this comment, 399 liked the last one, 560, 513. And what I'm yapping on about is the resonance, is the sound of that resonance. And let me know how these are resonating with you as well. If they are. If not, tell me that too. Next, it feels a little like when half the class ditches and the teacher gets mad at the remaining half. Yeah, this is what I was saying in the last video. Like, Kristi talking about how her current content is embarrassing for her to post. I'm like, Kristi, don't say that to people. The people who are still there, like, that is so rude to tell your current audience. Like, I hate making what I make for you. It's embarrassing to me. The shit you like from me is embarrassing. Like, girl, stop. Telegraphing dissatisfaction with her YouTube career for months and then lamenting that the audience doesn't engage with content they didn't sign up for is ... a choice. You guys are the best audience, can I just say? You all are just so eloquent and gifted in your writing. I need someone to help me with my writing the way that you all write, because yes, hit the nail on the head. I want to skip down to this one. 2020 was a great year for her pocketbook. While others were unable to visit their dying loved ones in the hospital, she is so tone deaf. That was a really big one that, like, I felt like I could have emphasized that more in my last video. How great 2020 was for her. She is such an outlier in that regard. Everybody else was suffering in some way, shape, or form. And a lot of people were either sick or dying or watching their loved ones die And like, she looks back at 2020 as like, oh, this is the peak of my career. And like, to give her the benefit of the doubt, COVID may have been off topic because she was really just talking about her YouTube career. But at the same time, it was not off topic because it wasn't like she was excluding a conversation about her personal life from the video. The video very much included her personal life. It was a big part of everybody else's personal life. And for her not to think back on 2020 and immediately think COVID-19, masks, vaccines, social distancing, isolation, like everybody else does, is just such a privilege. And again, it's like this ignorance and this like privilege that I don't think she realizes how much she's telegraphing that, as my other commenter said, just over her head, how it's coming across. Right above this comment, it says, I used to be the biggest fan of her and was so disappointed when she refused to address her controversies. I had to unfollow her. She now sounds and looks, in her micro expressions and body language, deeply bitter and angry at the world, even though she's trying to look okay and chill with her situation. It's sad. Yes, 1,000 times yes. Kristi used to be raw, as she said, and the fact that she's not, I think, is the biggest change for people. Like, I think people would have been much more on board and on her team if she was just coming out and saying, like, yeah, this is what I believe now. Yeah, this is my stance on XYZ. Yeah, I put my kid in that t-shirt, so what? At least own it. You know, if you're gonna be a bigot, allegedly, if you're gonna discriminate, allegedly, at least own it. You don't have to promote it. You can keep it relatively private because that shit's gross, but you can at least address it and say, yep, that's me now. If you don't like it, fuck off, you know? And that would at least be the real Kristi. Though, of course, it would be much better if that wasn't how she felt about these things, but I think we're past that point. And of course, again, this is all alleged and speculation because she has not addressed anything, so I don't know what she really thinks, but it just certainly looks that way. I'd give it a 99 out of 100% chance. One of my favorite comments, Kristi's video reminds me of Shane Dawson's infamous Welcome to the Circus post, where he claimed that the beauty community was exceptionally toxic and negative. Kristi makes this point where she's like, oh, the beauty community was drama. Talking about an eyeshadow palette was drama in and of itself. And I'm like, this narrow narrative about the beauty community has bothered me for a long time. There are certain big players in the beauty community that have chosen to be dramatic. Therefore, there was drama. But you know what community has an equally likely chance of being just as scandalous and just as dramatic as the beauty community? The fashion community. Just as much focus on appearance, just as much focus on artistic creativity and expression, just as much focus on technique, opinions, people having shit to say about clothes, whether it's each other's clothes or, you know, let me make over my audience member or whatever. Also, just as much potential for financial corruption, selling out, brand activity, losing your morals in place of money. Just as many strongly held opinions when it comes to the subject matter. But you know what there's not? YouTube platform shaking drama. Revolving around and involving the way that creators are interacting with their fans allegedly inappropriately, the way that they're interacting with each other and allegedly blackmailing each other behind the scenes, shit like that. You know, there is 1 or 2 or 3 particular people, and we all know who they are, who for a long time were at the center of the beauty community, causing drama as a way of staying in everybody's mouth. And that was not a reflection of the beauty community. That was a reflection of those people. And to me, hearing Kristi describe the beauty community this way tells me that those are the people that she was looking up to and wanting to be recognized by and want, like, the in crowd that she wanted to be in. That was her perception of the beauty community, that narrow and, again, privileged perspective on what the beauty community is. And it's sad to see that even here in 2025, that's still how she is seeing and describing the beauty community that she was a big part of, and that she started specifically to not be, you know, she wanted to be RawBeautyKristi. She wasn't trying to fake her way through to get money. how the mighty have fallen, I guess. So we've done some deep dives on a couple of these comments, but I'm just going to read through a few more without a bunch of commentary. Sounds like she's just resentful her audience calls her out for her connections to hate groups, religious extremist, homeschool nonsense, and still being pals with James Charles and is pretending to be unbothered. Kristi, are you listening? Listen to what these people are saying. This is, if you want to revive your channel, this is what you need to address. It's clear she doesn't love what she does. She just loves what it's afforded her. She's projecting her dissatisfaction on how it's not affording her the same lifestyle she got used to. It's very entitled behavior. I can't help but agree. And again, the fact that she said COVID was great for everyone when a lot of people struggled because of the lack of jobs, sickness, and death. Like, I guess she could mean, quote, everyone as, quote, content creators. Again, a narrow perspective on the world. And she does kind of clarify that in the video. But it's a bit tone deaf when she's asking her audience to care about her dumb pottery and silly crisis. I don't know about silly, because she has to actually work to maintain views. I don't know, it just feels a bit icky for me. Can't help but agree. In 2025, anything less than a full-throated condemnation of bigotry is just not going to cut it. She knows what people are saying, and she's content with letting them wonder. That's all I needed to know to unsubscribe and block. It is disappointing, isn't it? There are two other things that I really loved about the comment section from my past video. One is that there was this really lovely uplifting of positive channels that you guys watch, because Kristi couldn't stop talking about how negative everything was. And there were comments of people saying like, I watch this channel, they're great. I watch a channel about this. I watch a channel about this. And I want you to, I'm taking a lot longer than I thought I would to go through these comments already, so I'm not going to take the moment right now, but I will link my video in the description so that you can go look at those comments and find your way to other content and other channels that you guys might enjoy. I think that this is a time when we really need joy in our lives, and we need channels that bring us positivity. Another thing is there were several mentions throughout the comments section about Kristi's second channel, called The Sweet Life of Zach and Kristi. So I mentioned a lot in my previous video about I wish she would just start a second channel to do homesteading. And I think that that would be a much better strategic decision than coming onto her channel with 1 million beauty subscribers, changing over the channel without changing the title or changing the cover art, and then complaining when people are not interested because they're a beauty audience and they're not interested in farming, etc. Just start a second channel, because I think that would do better for you. And a lot of people were like, Hannah, she has a second channel. It's The Sweet Life of Zach and Kristi. And so like, yes and no, in my opinion, because to me, I guess when I was thinking about her starting a second channel, I was thinking of a solo channel, not a channel with Zach. I was never interested in watching The Sweet Life of Zach and Kristi, because to me, the title, The Sweet Life of Zach and Kristi, sounds a lot like a couples channel, like a lifestyle channel, like we're a cute couple. And like, I didn't really want couples content. You know what I mean? I didn't really flesh this out, but like in my mind, I'm thinking a solo RawBeautyKristi channel where she does videos by herself, but she's just talking about pottery, homesteading, farming, chickens, whatever she's up to. The extended universe of Kristi is not something that I'm necessarily personally very interested in. And I think it's a different kind of channel to start, as opposed to a different version of the same thing that she does regarding makeup, but it's about farming. Because also The Sweet Life of Zach and Kristi, once you start involving other people in your family, you're certainly going to involve your baby / who he's now a 5-year-old child. And I don't want to, like, that's not what I'm talking about in terms of her starting a second channel. Anything that even closely resembles a family channel, I'm like, or a couples channel, I'm like, So yes, indeed, you are correct. She has The Sweet Life of Zach and Kristi, just that's not the type of second channel that I was thinking of. So we're both right, really. There's no winner, there's no loser here. We're just both correct. I like things being that way. Okay, so now that we've looked through what Kristi's former fans, her ex-fans, have to say about why they left, why they unsubscribed and stopped watching her channel, I hope that she listens if she finds this video. I hope that she takes these things to heart, but I also think that she knows. She knows. She said it 1 million times in her video herself. She's flipped 180 degrees as a person. And I don't think that her recent video was due to a lack of knowledge. I think there was a bit of shit stirring going on in there with her saying, all I have to do is be negative. I don't know how truly and deeply she actually believes that, but I think that's what she wants us to believe. that the only way to be popular on YouTube is to be negative, and I just won't do it. I simply can't sit here and be negative, except for the video that I'm about to post where I'm not going to disclose my ads properly, and I am going to feature myself playing a ukulele in the thumbnail and throughout the video. I simply won't. That negativity is beneath me. So let's talk about some very recent shit she's been up to. And it does make me wonder if she's just trolling at this point. I'll show you why. Since my last video, we can see that Kristi has posted, one could say, a deluge of content for 2 weeks for her. So 2 weeks ago, she posted my channel is dying and I'm letting it happen. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos over the past, 2 weeks, which is a lot for her. It's a lot for a lot of people. Like this level of content creation, I could never. Even if it was vlogs like this, I would struggle. And I hope that she doesn't set herself up to fail in that way. But anyway, so one of the videos that she did is an unedited get ready with me right here, which does seem to be in response to Peter Monn saying in his video that she should do unedited videos. She tried it and look, it got better views than her other surrounding videos. So maybe she should continue doing it. I don't know. And then a couple of videos later, clean with me in chat, I'm going to start a business. First of all, she says, clean with me in chat, I'm going to start a business. And people have come out of that video wondering like, wait, what business? Did you name the business? Did you describe the business? There's confusion about even what business she's referring to here. But there are a couple of issues that have come out around this video. First, she's got herself a nice rustic looking ukulele there in the thumbnail. She plays it during the video. And if you've been on the internet at all over the past year and a half, then you know what image is evoked by a non-musician holding and playing a ukulele. I know that Kristi would like to think, or would like us to think, that she's not drama fishing. It very well could be a genuine, passionate interest of hers now, suddenly, to play the ukulele. God bless her if that's the case. But maybe just don't show it on YouTube. There's a lot of things that you do that I'm sure you're not showing on YouTube. Or at least, if you're going to show it on YouTube, then just like reference Colleen. Like reference the elephant in the room so that we all know that you know. Be cheeky about it. Shade Colleen along the way, but let us know that we're on the same page here. You don't have to pretend that you don't know, that you're so above it all, that you don't know the obvious connection that people are going to be making. Okay, I'm just saying. All right. But then additionally in this video, there was some poor disclosure. Could you stop it? When this video first went up, there was poor disclosure of her sponsorship with a cat litter brand that she does during this video. Peter Monn talks about it in one of his recent videos. I will link that video. Basically, she posted this video 3 days ago. Peter Monn posted a video 1 day later talking about how he noticed these issues with her ad disclosure. There wasn't a complete lack of ad disclosure, but it wasn't done properly. And he pointed out several different ways that it was incorrect and improper. And this is particularly frustrating because Kristi has in the past mentioned several times one of the things that people like about her channel was that she used to call out other beauty creators, and she has called out in the past false advertising or poor disclosure. She has at least 2 videos about this. One of them is the one that Peter Monn mentioned. This one is from 2 years ago, February 3rd, 2023. She's got links to the FTC government website about how to properly disclose. And it's called We Need to Talk About False Advertising and Why You Should Care. Great video from old school RawBeautyKristi. She's talking about not just makeup, but also clothing and just in general advertising on the internet and how it can be manipulative and manipulated and why it's a problem. And she goes on in there to discuss poor or absent disclosure of ads. So she knows how to do it right. It very well could have been an honest mistake that just this time she was rushing, putting this video out and just forgot to do what she was supposed to do. But it's just frustrating because she's criticized other people about this. And there's another video that she did on a similar topic. This one is from 5 years ago. March of 2019, so about to be 6 years ago. So this has been a theme on her channel of looking out for false advertising, looking out for, in her words, makeup scams to look out for. and telling her audience about it, informing us, and as a result, holding herself and other creators to a higher standard when it comes to false advertising and ad disclosure. So just like that's the reason. It's the precedent she set, that she is aware and that she's trying to do her best when it comes to this. That's the reason that it's frustrating that in this recent video with the cat litter ad, she did not, or at least she did not until 2 hours after Peter Monn made a video calling it out. And I just need to say, come with me really quickly down a rabbit hole here. I've been watching a lot more of Peter Monn's videos recently because I go creator by creator, deep diving. That is how my brain works. And I've been deep diving Peter Monn over the past few weeks. I'll just read you my notes when it comes to this topic. Since Peter Monn's first video where he mentioned Kristi's incorrect disclosure, which was again 2 days ago, 1 day after Kristi made this video, Kristi has improved her disclosure on that video. 2 hours after he posted his, she went back in and she modified what she could to make it fit with FTC guidelines. It's not completely fixed now, but it's better. In light of this responsive action by Kristi to Peter Monn's video, allegedly in my opinion, I think it's valid to bring up the weird relationship between Peter Monn and RawBeautyKristi. Peter Monn has talked about this. He has a theory that Kristi watches his videos and kind of subliminally responds in her own videos. And I cannot confirm or deny. Let me know what you think, because I am, like I said, I'm deep diving Peter Monn for the past few weeks. I'm not necessarily the most up to date on every single thing he's ever done, although I've watched several of his videos over the years, but I haven't watched every single. I'm binging now. I haven't binged before, but I did notice something that definitely raises my eyebrow about this. This is Peter Monn's channel as it stands here on Sunday, February 23rd, when I'm recording this around 8 a.m. So over the past couple of weeks, we can see Peter has posted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos recently about RawBeautyKristi. The first one is this one with the red background. RawBeautyKristi finally addresses her dying channel. Before that, there was a bit of a gap and he had not really talked about RawBeautyKristi for a little bit. The third one that Peter made recently was this one called RawBeautyKristi Took My Advice on Her Dying Channel. Awkward, from 7 days ago as of today. In that video, he mentioned how RawBeautyKristi did exactly what he suggested and filmed and posted an entirely unedited makeup get ready with me video. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. Peter mentioned also that all of the products that she used in that unedited makeup get ready with me video were properly listed and linked and disclosed, and he gave her praise for that. 3 days ago, Kristi posts the video that we just mentioned with the cat litter sponsorship that she did not properly disclose. 2 days ago, 1 day later, he posts, RawBeautyKristi is a mess. She needs to address this. And that's where he discusses the disclosure issue. And 2 hours after he posts that, she fixes the disclosure in her video. Or it's not all the way fixed, it's improved, but it's fixed to the extent that she can without taking down and completely remaking the video. I just think this is odd, this back and forth. I think it is happening. And to be clear, I think that the oddness is coming from Kristi's side. It's giving passive aggressive, it's giving upset that Peter is a commentator, just doing what he normally does as a commentator by commentating on things going on. It's giving she values Peter's opinion, but feels hurt that sometimes that opinion has been negative of her, so she'll take his advice but not directly say so. I don't want to think too deeply into it, but I think it's something. I think there's some meat on the bones of this theory that Peter Monn has. I don't love this kind of passive aggressive bullshit, if that is what this is, because it's yet another thing that Kristi, if she has some issue with Peter Monn, talk about it. It's yet another way that she's just not being the person that we knew her to be as her audience members. She's not addressing issues where she's being called out for shit. She's not addressing an issue that she apparently has with Peter Monn, I guess. I don't know. This is not the RawBeautyKristi that we all knew. We knew a RawBeautyKristi who was honest, who was forward. I pulled up some videos of hers that I like. The 2 false advertising videos that I showed, but also there's this video I think is worth remembering. It's called The Real Truth About Multi-Level Marketing, Scams, Lies, and Pyramid Schemes. This is from October 16th, 2023. This used to be a big theme that RawBeautyKristi talked about every now and then. MLMs, multi-level marketing, issues that she had with those companies and that structure in general and the way that they can be predatory. She used to look out for people. She used to inform her audience. She used to educate people. She used to have more altruistic, I guess, or like more audience focused, like I mentioned in my last video, ideas and motivations and intentions on her channel. And now it seems like it's just this place where that's just much more focused on herself. And that's fair. People change, life changes, whatever. But the audience was expecting a certain type of content from her, that she set that expectation by creating that content. She changes, her content changes, her beliefs are in question, her beliefs may be bigoted and discriminatory. Her boundaries have disappeared in terms of what she feels comfortable putting online for other people to see about her life. She's a different person in so many more ways than she's willing to give credit to. And she's also not addressing how she's talking about it, hurting her audience, and the fact that the change in and of itself is hurtful and disappointing to people who used to call her their real dad, as she told them to. I think the most frustrating part is that Kristi is blaming her change on having a baby, motherhood. And the way that she said it in the last video, that the My Channel is Dying video, is, I had a baby, and then everything changed. I became 180-degree flip, a whole different person. But I think that is like, it simplifies it too much. It wasn't like that kind of flip, because that marketing false advertising video that I showed you was just from 2 years ago. Her son was 3 by then. 2 years ago, she was still the person who would educate her audience and inform them about false advertising and non-disclosure of ads and FTC violations. And she was still looking out for her audience in that way, talking about important issues in that way, just 2 years ago. So something has changed maybe within the past 2 years, rather than just like, oh, just motherhood changed me. Like the commenters were saying, she's down this right-wing pipeline. She's anti-LGBTQIA+, apparently, unless and until she tells us any different. As people are saying, she's a perpetual victim of all these different things. She's oversharing. Well, she was oversharing and trauma dumping before the past 2 years, but like, it seems like she's just gotten much more of an attitude nowadays, which is new over the past 2 years, of like entitlement and bitterness toward her former audience, or her current audience, even being embarrassed about what she's posting, especially over the past 2 years, and telling the audience that she's working for. The only boss that she has basically right now is her audience, and telling them like, I hate this content that I'm making for you, but this is what you want, so I guess I'll make it. That's the shocking difference. And that's not something that just happened after she became a mother. There are these other factors that she's just not willing to discuss, and she's not willing to give any weight to. And that's very confusing when, again, her title is RawBeautyKristi, and she's always been this honest, forthcoming, or portrayed herself as anyway, honest, forthcoming, direct, straightforward, calling shit out. But when it comes to herself, she can't do it in a mirror. She can only do it under a microscope toward other people. So I hope this helps. If Kristi's wondering the fuck is going on with her channel, I don't think she's actually wondering. She's decided what the answer is. She's just come to a very wrong decision because she's not listening to anybody else. But if she ever takes it upon herself sometime to listen to what other people are saying, I hope she finds this video. I hope she finds what the viewers have said, former fans of hers, the opinions that they're expressing. Because in my comment section, she can't delete the comments. She can't modify what's allowed to be shown. The only comments I'm deleting are ones that are just purely hateful. She can't moderate other people's content in other people's comment section the way that she can her own. So I hope that someday she drops by either my video or somebody else's video and takes a real hard, honest, raw look at what people are saying, and has a raw look in the mirror at how she's changed over the years, what it really has to do with, and is she really happy with who she is now? Because I don't think that she is. She's not herself anymore. And it's not just this like, motherhood changes you. Motherhood makes a big difference, but it shouldn't completely alter your moral compass. I'm not a mother, so let me know in the comments below. Did motherhood make you completely flip on the political spectrum? Did motherhood make you discriminate against people? Did motherhood make you call the people who pay your bills, your audience, or customers, let's say, in a different setting, embarrassing? Is that something that motherhood made you do? Any mothers in the audience, let me know. All right, I've got to run. That's the biggest stuff that's been going on with Kristi lately. And I especially wanted to give voice to the audience members that have left her and why they left her. And she's not listening, as you can tell with her recent content she's been uploading since the My Channel is Dying video. So whatever path she's on, she's happy to be on it, or at least she would like us to think that. So best of luck to her, I guess. I don't really plan on talking about her again until she has something significant to say, though, which hopefully would be clarifying whether or not she's anti-LGBTQIA+. There's kind of no words I want to hear from her mouth unless and until it's that. You can always keep me informed if there's anything else related to her that I do need to talk about in the future. You guys can always comment things that you want me to talk about, or you can email me. My email address is in the description. Thanks again to those of you who have subscribed to my channel over the past week and a half. It really makes a big difference. If you're new here, consider subscribing. It makes a big difference. Thanks also to the creators who have shouted me out. I do think we should chat, at least just like some coffee or something. And yeah, that's pretty much that. So let me know all of your thoughts on everything in the comments below. Please don't go harass anybody as a result of my video. I think we know that, but sometimes it bears repeating because a couple of the comments that I have received on the last video, I did need to delete because they were inappropriate. So we need to be respectful. We can disagree respectfully. RawBeautyKristi may not be your real dad anymore, but I can be your surrogate real dad and tell you, no, no, no. We're not insulting people's appearances. Aside from that, I hope you're doing well. Parasocially, love ya. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. I hope you're having a great day, week, month, year, etc. Peace be with you always. Bye.